Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, and I have some fun videos for you. You guys, this is so exciting. I don't know, I feel excited by this, but the original, the literal prototype, the quite literal prototype, let me just make this an emphasis on this. The literal prototype of the infamous, iconic, if you will, famous Birkin bag is going up for auction in literally just days. If you're watching this in the future, it has probably already sold at probably what we can expect to be like a record-breaking number, let's just say. I am so excited to chat with you guys about why this is so iconic, what I think I've really taken from Miss Jane Birkin, the icon, the legend herself, and how this bag is actually so incredibly special. But first and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put out videos 3 days a week, and so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, by now we all know that legendary story of Miss Jane Birkin carrying the, just so iconic, so adorable, which so many people, ooh, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm gonna give a crazy shout out right now because I'm obsessed. So many people have started, I think, doing and using this type of bag now, a la Jane Birkin styles. She carried a literal wicker basket for so many years, and there's so many gorgeous, iconic photos of her doing so. This is where the shout out comes in. The poof, if you guys follow her, Christina Grasso, oh my God, iconic. Every one of her outfits, I'm like, girl, you are literally amazing. And a little while ago, weeks ago, or maybe like a month-ish ago, she posted a very similar wicker basket, but then DIY'd it with an Hermes Kelly belt around the top. I was like, girl, Hermes better cut you a check. You better go to the design team because, oh my gosh, you're iconic. I don't know how she thought of that, but in my brain, it's genuinely one of the most genius designs of all time, and I pray that one day they make this girl an incredible part of the design team. Very similar, it's very Jane Birkin of her, okay? And add this style to an Hermes collection. How iconic would that be? A girl can dream, okay? Very similarly, so on this infamous flight many, many moons ago, Jane Birkin was sat next to the then CEO of Hermes, Jean-Louis Dumas, and all, down came her wicker basket, all of her things tumbled out, and they spent the rest of the flight tweaking the Hermes au couloir, or aka hack. I never know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, the actual name of it, into what this prototype became then, that grew into eventually the Birkin bag after some more further tweaking. However, we are focusing on this OG today because can you believe how absolutely iconic this bag is? First of all, it's the box leather of it all for me. It's the black color. It's the strap. It's the nail clippers dangling off of the side of it. This seems to be literally one of the most perfect bags of all time, and I wish that they would come out with a style that is quite literally an updated version of this with a strap that's not removable. The size looks really interesting. I think that that's something very unique to get into because I think a lot of people have said that the Birkin 35 is the original or the Birkin 40 is the original. This is actually something quite different. This is neither of the two. It sounds like the base of it is 16 inches and the height is just under 14. If I'm remembering correctly, I'll put it up on the screen if I'm not correct. I am going to actually try to go to Sotheby's. I don't know if there's a line or if there's a ticketing system to get in, but if I'm successful, I will either add it in here or, shameless plug to future me, add it into a vlog if I'm allowed to record, but I'm really hoping to see this bad boy in person because I'm here, I'm in New York, and that just seems like an iconic opportunity that I literally have to at least try. Regardless, the bag will be up for auction June 10th. So when I'm filming this, this is the first day that it's available for view at Sotheby's. So I'm very excited. And then it will be on viewing in Paris for a little while, just I think a couple days. And then I'm sure it will go to the private collector's collection, or you never know. They could put it on display as well. That would be really cool. We have no idea who is going to purchase it. Other than just some of the really fun details of the bag, and I know every creator has said this story, so I'm sorry for repeating it 1,000 million times, but I feel like there's so many newcomers to the luxury handbag space and our little world here, and so I kind of feel like we all have to continue repeating it just because it's such a fun story, right? That really is such, I think, an integral part of this world that we exist in is the story, is why, and that's a big part of something that I really wanted to get into because I just did my wish list. I think I'm gonna be putting out my wish list before this video, but if not, I will put it out right after. But I've been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of hunting and a lot of searching, and I think I am nobody special, but myself included with a lot of people. And again, you know, I'm an artist, so I just feel like I'm so used to this, but of course, artists and in our world, so many people get more recognition after they pass, which is a completely unfortunate thing. However, it has to be acknowledged that after Jane Birkin's passing, so much of her ethos really, I think, got into our world, seeped into so many different facets of not just the luxury community, of the collector's space, of I think that this event has really truly transformed not just our industry, but really seeped into so many different industries. I just did an entire video talking about how fashion like really wasn't ever anything cool. And yet the Birkin bag has really been one of the pieces that has transcended all spaces. Some people solely look at it as a status symbol, which is, you know, not judging in any way, shape, or form, but I think in today's video, I'm really interested in talking about it purely as a functional bag. I'm literally becoming more and more convinced that the Birkin bag is truly one of the most perfect bags that exists, I think. And I'm a recent convert, and I'm very interested in one, okay? And the more that I am getting into just carrying one really large, or for me, larger bag, because apparently she's been in her mini bag era for the last like maybe 10 years, something crazy like, I'll say like 5-ish years, but even when I was working, taking a laptop to work, you know, a 9-to-5 girly, shall we say, I still always had my little mini bag. So I've been in a mini bag era for a really long time. And recently I got a bag that is essentially a dupe of a Margot. It's kind of like a mix between a Margot and a Métier bag, but really a Margot is, I think, so Birkin coated in so many ways, in such a unique way, but just the actual functionality of the bag is so Birkin coated, and we know that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen love their Birkins and Hermes bags, and I'm sure have the most incredible archive of all time. The reason why this relates to my wish list is because I'm very interested in exploring this idea that Jane Birkin got it right the first time, that Jane Birkin knew exactly what she was doing, she knew exactly what she wanted, and I am striving for this level of iconicness. I think that's where I trailed off into a longer story. I am becoming more and more convinced that having one gigantic, perfect, everyday tote bag is almost maybe the way to go. I'm not gonna be selling my collection, don't worry. This is not one of those videos. I'm sorry, I did not mean to roll my eyes, but that was a genuine reaction. This is not one of those I'm selling everything videos. First of all, I've always been saying this. I just, you know, I think the next 10 years in my life, 10 to 15 years, I'm sure, will be the most changing possibly ever in my life, prior and then, oh, God willing, future past that. And so I'm not ready to sell everything, okay? I'm not ready to just get one Birkin. I'm not ready for that because I imagine I'm going to be having many different iterations of myself over the next decade where I do need mini bags, and I do need a backpack, and I do need a school bag, and I do need things for my future children, and lots of fun things. So I'm still going to always be a collector, but the more I dive into Jane Birkin's world, the more I think about this prototype of a Birkin, the more I am convinced that she got it right the first time, that she is a genius, that of course, you know, the whole design combination team of not just Jean-Louis Dubois, but literally the entire design team, everybody that worked on that bag, put so much reality into it, if that makes sense, put so much functionality into it, that I think I'm becoming a convert. Bag in question, my new little Elborn bag, not sponsored, please sponsor me, but this is the most organic way I can place this bag in a video and say I'm obsessed. For the last 2.5 years on my channel, I've been saying, oh, I don't do anything. I don't need a laptop bag. I don't need things. All I have is my dog, my angel, and I literally just need sunglasses, my phone, my keys, and my wallet. And that is true. Until I experimented, which I think I'm so grateful for, I experimented with a $500-something bag that is still made of real leather, and it's actually very nice quality, and more specific videos to go on this particular bag. This is more so about the actual functionality of it in today's video, but the second I started carrying it, I'm so grateful I actually went for it, because I'm becoming more and more convinced that maybe I should really be either looking into a Margot or a Birkin, because the way that I've been able to organize this sucker and like genuinely carry more things, have more opportunities to, I don't know, put more personal items or whatnot and really curate a what's in my bag for just a daily, I don't know, just for daily activities, I'm loving it. Something like a Kelly, my Hermes Vintage Kelly, I thought would be so perfect for my lifestyle. However, it really is not a worn, it's not a frequently worn bag, and I just have to admit that. When it's open, it's good, but then the second it gets too heavy, it kind of starts, you know, falling open. And so I think that this is my perfect forever lady bag that I love so, 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 so dearly. Actually, it's the perfect travel bag because you can always have it, you know, locked tight and closed and feel really good about that. But again, to repeat this for the 1000th time, I think that there's something really, really, really special about a very basic, if you will, open style tote bag. And that's exactly where I wanted to conclude this little, I don't know, this is a very random stream of consciousness video, which I know some people hate, so I'm so sorry. But to end with, I think that there is one, I don't know, there's one kind of like overall point that's always kind of the elephant in the room, right? The people who are divided between the Birkin bag is a status symbol, it's impossible to get, yada, 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 only the rich have it. If I get it, I'll look rich, I'll emanate this, I will become this, yada, yada, yada. And the team me, which is very much so, I think I always thought of the Birkin as a little bit maybe too simple in a way. I think I always struggled between those two worlds of being like, okay, I don't want it just because it's a status symbol. But if you really do like sort through all of the mess, if you sort through the, you know, if you sort through the caste system of it all, if you sort through the appointment system of it all, if you sort through the status symbol of it all, the Birkin bag is a very simple, very functional, insanely functional tote bag. And it's incredibly well made. I would argue the Row and Hermes are my two, you know, favorite bag brands when it comes to not just luxury, but actual quality. And I know that's, you know, some people would argue differently, but the fact that you can wear it open and then also, which is where it's different from a Margot, the fact that you can wear it open and then also lock it, the fact that it has those little cute hardware details that I think really do add something to the bag. For some reason, this sale is genuinely making me want to find a beaten up vintage one. I mean, for some reason, again, I'm not special. Everybody probably wants this, but this sale is truly bringing into my brain, not just this sale, more so me wearing my Elborn bag and falling in love with it. So the combination of the two, stream of consciousness, I know, I told you, I'm so sorry, but it's making me really want to revisit getting one larger bag for everyday wear. The only thing is that the reason why I love the original so much is because of that detachable strap. And so I don't know, it's kind of an interesting thing because neither Birkin or Margot will give you that. And so I don't know. I really think that no matter what team you're on, and not that it needs to be teams, but no matter whether you look at a Birkin as a status symbol or as a purely functional bag, I think that the coolest through the looking glass take is that Jane Birkin wanted an everyday functional diaper bag. and the Birkin became that. And that is why, that is what I want. Of course, I don't have kids yet, so not a diaper bag, but you know what I mean. An everyday catch-all, throw everything in, literal perfect bag. That I think in itself is why, in my brain, again, I think, you know, some people just have different opinions on it, but in my brain, that is why it is the level of iconicness in which it has become. I'm becoming more and more convinced that she was right all along. Something about the hack still is so desirable to me. I really still think that if there is the perfect chocolate brown hack 32 or even 40, I know that's crazy, but especially 32, I might prioritize that over a Birkin, but I'm seeing now more, especially really kind of studying her and understanding the ethos behind a literal, you know, a literal work, fun, play, everything in the kitchen sink bag. I think I'm not becoming convinced. I think I am convinced that this is the most perfect, most iconic bag. I would love to hear all of your thoughts. I'm so sorry. I know some people are so divided and they hate my rambly videos, but this is a crazy topic and it's such an interesting thing and I'm dying to go see this in person. I'm literally going to go to Sotheby's right now and say, hello, yes, I'm here to view the iconic piece, okay? I can't wait to share my thoughts on that. And maybe part 2 coming soon. Let me know everything down below. Is this just insane? Is this completely asinine? Should we care about these things? Or did this prototype spark an amazing new zeitgeist in our community? Clearly we see which team I'm on. I can't wait to hear your thoughts and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye guys.